Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back, sisters. You're watching Women's AM. This morning, I'm joined by Sister Afia and Sister Fawzia Razvi, and you will notice that Nusrat has exited to make room for Rabina Kadir, who will be giving us a demonstration to make our own hijab pins. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Rabina. Welcome to the show, and Jazakallah khair for coming. I'm really looking forward to this demonstration. Can you explain to us what you're going to be making?
Absolutely. I'm just going to show you how to make a few simple hijab pins. I got into this, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, because when I first started, there wasn't many hijab pins or the designs that I particularly liked or that I could use in the office. So it kind of started from there. So I wanted to just show you how to use or make hijab pins from basic crystal beads and things like that. But you can make a lot more sophisticated hijab pins, brooch pins, things like that. So I'm just going to show you a quick way of making some hijab pins which are perfect for gifts. You can do it yourself as well, DIY, why not?
So where can we get these supplies from?
These supplies, you can get them off my website, but also off like places like eBay, bead shops, anywhere really. You can just search online and have a trawl through and look through for these kind of supplies. So it's available anywhere really. You just got to look. So,
okay, I can't wait to see the demonstration. It seems like it's going to be something really complicated.
No, not at all. I'm going to show you some basic ones just for today. Obviously, you can go into a lot more complex designs. So there's some in there. If you've got a chance, you could go through and have a look. But so these are basic hijab pins, gold pins that you can get. I tend to use these just because a lot of my customers prefer quite large pins. And they just secure
especially the ornate ones, the bigger ones, don't you? Yeah.
So I've got loads of findings here. I don't know if you can see them, but I tend to, I've got quite a large variety of findings and things that I use, and these can use to decorate the actual pin itself, and just make it look, a lot more sophisticated than what it.
And again, with the the kind of sort of decorative bits, you can just buy those.
Absolutely. Also at the bead shop, there's a few that I tend to use in London. There's actual shops that you can go into in Covent Garden. So I get a lot of my supplies from there, but also just generally in and around, and also online.
What is it you're actually doing now? You're kind of threading
showing
these?
You just threading these, the beads through, and also some of the findings. So these are bead caps that you can get.
Okay, so you've got the bead cap at the end.
Yep. Put the crystal bead through, and then this little crystal rondel is quite useful. It's quite nice to actually just give it a bit of decorative finish.
That matches my e-toot, guys. It actually matches my e-toot.
So hopefully we can give you this one after. What I tend to do is thread it off with a crystal bead cap at the end. This secures it. Generally I use epoxy glue. I'm not going to use it today because it's got a lot of smell to it, and you've got to do it in a well-vented area. So I'm just going to show you now that this is a really basic design that you can make. Again, you can use smaller pins as well to do them. So you've got these ones where you can, quite slightly larger, but quite nice to actually secure those, your hijab as well.
Absolutely. So with this one that we've got here, how do we kind of secure the...
I will show you.
The ornaments in place?
So these are usually the bead caps, so you can do it, the beads, spacer beads. You've got some quite tight ones, so you can just push them through, and they secure the actual... sorry, I'm going to try and push it through. Normally I use one of my bead guides to push it through.
Oh, okay, so I can see it's quite tight there, isn't it?
So it keeps it quite tight and insecure, and it won't move around.
That's brilliant, just keeps everything in place.
And then usually the glue as well, just to keep it in place. You let that dry for about 5 minutes and it's done.
Okay.
But obviously I won't use that today. If you have a look, there's just some of the basic designs that you can do.
Wow,
these are with like crystal beads. These ones I've actually used, there's a wax carving method that I use because I'm a silversmith. I've used a lot of the skills and things that I've learned over the years and kind of implemented that into the hijab pin styles.
Oh, yeah, they're gorgeous.
Yeah. So
I love these ones. I love these flower ones. They're absolutely beautiful.
Really cute. These are. So these ones are resin beads as well. So you can use these. Just pierce a hole through them and then.
So did you make
the
actual flower?
I don't do these anymore. I think now you can actually find them everywhere. Whereas about 4 or 5 years ago, I used to actually cast them out of resin and then leave them to set for about 24 hours and then
really?
make them.
So
whereas now you can find them everywhere.
well?
Yeah. So thank you.
That's really interesting, and I think these are such a lovely gift, and I love this colour.
Yeah.
This is absolutely my favourite colour. And you said you sell this on your website as well?
Yes,
and do you
I
find
do.
a lot of people buy the sets to make themselves?
They do. You know, they buy things, you know, the small packs that I do to make them themselves. You know, I give them literally everything that's on here, the bead caps, just as a starter kit.
Yeah.
But also a lot of people tend to buy sets. You know, if they're not really into the whole arts and crafts, or if they want to buy it as a gift, then it's quite nice.
I think it's a fantastic gift idea. I absolutely love it, and it's certainly given me a few ideas for Eid. So Jazakallah khair for coming in. I really enjoyed that. What a valuable skill this is, and it could certainly save you money. A unique gift is fantastic, and with Eid coming up, a few people may be getting hijab pins. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of today's show, but do join us again tomorrow when we'll be discussing beauty and the Muslim woman. How do today's standards of beauty impact us as Muslim women? And who says what's beautiful and what's not? Join us for what promises to be a lively discussion tomorrow live at 11 a.m. Plus, our Surah Mulk Challenge continues, and we are nearly getting to the end, sisters, so please let us know how you've done. Before we go, here is another reminder of this week's competition.
This week on